All right, so at the time of recording this, which is the 28th of January 2026, yesterday Adobe released an update to Photoshop, giving us now version 27.3.0. So in this video, we'll take a quick look to see what that brought with it. All right, so on the screen here, I've got a list of some of the things that this January 27th, 2026 release brings with it. And the first one being new adjustment layers. So over here in Photoshop then, I've got the adjustment layers over on the right-hand side. And you can see now, look, we've got clarity and dehaze and grain, which ordinarily would have been within Camera Raw. If we can click on them, you can see here, this is the clarity and dehaze, and just like every other one, it brings with it the actual adjustment and a layer mask with it as well, which is really cool. And we've got the two sliders up at the top here. So I guess if you've used clarity and dehaze, you kind of know what they are. It's just really super handy that we now have them as well as grain within Photoshop. So we don't now need to create like a smart object, maybe if we've got a few layers, or create a merged layer and then go into Camera Raw and come back out. It's really cool that we've got them built into Photoshop's main work area. So that's that. The next one, which I guess is the main thing really, there's been a big improvement with the Adobe's AI, which is Firefly. So we've now got a new model called Firefly Fill and Expand, which supersedes the previous model, which was Firefly Image 3. So there's a few things that Adobe mentioned about this update to the AI. The first one being that it says it's got improved human and animal generation. So let's just take a quick look at that there. So I've got this blank document. I'll press Command or Control and A to select it so you can see the marching ants now going around it. So now I can use the contextual taskbar. I'll click on Generative Fill, and I'm just going to make sure actually that I'm going to use Firefly Image 3 first of all, the previous version, so that we can then show you the new one so that you'll see the difference between it. So let's click on Firefly Image 3, and in here I'll put something like a group of 3 people wearing outdoor clothing hiking in the mountains. All right, so then I'll click on Generate. Now, one of the big improvements so far with this particular model, amongst some other things, is that we now have higher resolution generations. Whereas before it was like 1024 on the longest edge, now it's 2048 pixels, 2K on the longest edge. And you'll see a big difference. But look, this is what we used to get with Firefly Image 3 when it comes to generating people. And you can see that it kind of struggled. From a distance, it might look good, but when you zoomed in, there was definitely issues with it. So this is the kind of thing that we're getting. It's just not good at all. But now that we've got that, I'll keep the same prompt in here. But instead, what I'll do is I'll go to in the properties where we're using Firefly. I'll click on that drop-down menu, and now I'll just use the new one, Firefly Fill and Expand. As you can see here, look, released January 2026. So I'll click on that, and then click on Generate, and then again, that will give us 3 generations. Now, this is the really cool thing about the fact that Firefly is improving, because up until now, the results weren't all that good, but with it improving, it means that we're going to be able to maybe use those third-party AI platforms less within Photoshop, which is good because they consume a lot more generative credits. Firefly is considerably less, so we're going to have to hold on to those credits a lot longer. But now, look, here we've got the generation that's been created using that new model. And you can see, look, straight away, massive, massive improvement on the generation of people. If you go from that one there to, say, that one there, that's a big difference. So very, very welcome with that one. So I've mentioned already then, that's the first improvement. We've got the 2K resolution, big improvement. There's also something that I think Adobe called improved mask bleeding. So let's just say that you've got an image where maybe somebody's hand is touching a surface and you change what is underneath their hand, whereas before the results might not look so good the way it was kind of messing with the fingers and stuff. Now it's much more improved and it'll kind of maintain the integrity of that hand and put that object underneath. So those kind of things that you maybe wouldn't necessarily hear them shouting about, but it is included within this update. So that's an improvement. Generative Expand. So let me show you this here, look. So obviously, when Generative Expand was brought in, we all kind of started using it, and then we kind of stopped using it because the resolution wasn't quite so good. It was nowhere near matching what our image was originally. So let me just show you this then. So I'm now going to get the crop tool, and in the options bar at the top of the screen just here where we've got fill, I'll change that so it says Generative Expand. And I'm going to drag out, I'll just do the one side. Let's say I want to expand this side here to change the composition of the image. So I'll go to maybe something like that. But for this model, just so we can see a comparison of before and after with the previous model, I'll click on Firefly and I'll make sure, look here, look, I'm using Firefly Image 3, the previous version. And then we'll click on Generate. So this is going to give us what we would have had before, which would most likely be the reason that you've probably not been using it quite so much. I certainly haven't. But let's just give it a few seconds, roughly 10 to 12. We can zoom in. And yeah, we're going to start to see the difference. I don't know if you can see it there. I'll just click on the mask so we can see the dividing line. So to the left-hand side of this marching ant line here is the original image. This side here is the new generative fill version of it. And you can see, look, there is a difference between that texture. Let's get rid of that line now. There we go. So you can really see the difference in it. So this is going to be the reason why most people stopped using it. But now with this new model, this Firefly fill and expand, let's just see what that gives us. So I'll click on the generative fill layer there. And again, like before, we'll just go to the flyout menu just in the properties and we'll change it now to the new one, Firefly fill and expand. And then I'll click on generate. And again, it'll give us 3 generations. I'm all for this improvement in Firefly. I really am, because I'd stopped using it because the results weren't good. And I started to use things like Nano Banana and Flux in Photoshop, which are great results, but it really does take a lot of credits. So there's a danger there you could run out very quickly. But look, here we go. So now look, hopefully you're going to see a drastic improvement in this. I'll zoom in. And I think already, look, it can be hard to tell, well, where's the original image and where's the new generative part that's been put into it. So look, I'll click on the mask, I'll hold down my command key and just click once on the layer mask so that we can get that just there, this line, so dividing it. So again, the left-hand side is the original, the right-hand side is the new generative expand area that's been created. So massive difference when we look at it just there. So yeah, really big difference in what that's given us compared to what we had before with the generations that were being produced. So Adobe are calling it less mush, more details, less mush. Whereas before, I think you'll agree, it was quite mushy the way it kind of did stuff. All right, so next on the list then, we've got the remove tool. And the big improvement with the remove tool, which also includes the remove button, which you'll find in the contextual taskbar, both the same technology, is that it's improved in rebuilding parts of things that are covered over by something that you want to be removed, particularly faces. So for example, with this image here, in the previous version of the remove tool, if I tried to remove this smoke and get Photoshop to rebuild the glasses, the face, the mouth, and a little bit of the eye, it wouldn't necessarily do that good a job. But let me just show you how it will do it now. So I'll get the remove tool. And what I'll do is I'm just going to make an outline around what I want to get rid of. So we'll go here, get rid of this vape as well. And I'll just outline where the smoke is. Kind of cover this area here and up and down. There's a little bit on the glasses I can see just there. A bit on the eye maybe, and that. All right, so it fills it in. So quite a tricky area to rebuild. But now that I've got it selected, let's just press the tick in here to say, right, see what you can do. So give it a few seconds. It's going to analyze it and rebuild it to how it thinks it should look. We only get the one up. I mean, look, wow. I mean, look at that. So this is before and this is after. Before and after. I mean, that's pretty impressive, right? That is very, very impressive. Obviously, when you use the remove tool, you don't get any additional generations. But if you use it on the contextual taskbar, you make a selection, then you use the remove tool, you'll then get 3 generations that you could jump through. But I mean, that one there straight away, the first one it throws back, absolutely fantastic. All right, so the next one is something that I've wanted for a long time, which is what's called reference image. And this is so incredibly useful because without this, I was finding myself having to go to other platforms to use their built-in function where they have a reference image. And I use a platform called FreePic, where I can get access to, Google's Nano Banana and what have you. But now having this here in Photoshop and using reference image with Firefly, big bonus, big bonus, because again, it's a massive improvement in the fact that we can use Firefly, less credits being consumed. All right, so let's have a quick look, because there's so much you could do with this, replacing the contents of something with something else. And I'll just have a bit of fun with this one. Let's say I've got my friend here, picture of my friend Ian. I'll go to the object selection tool, because when I do, in the options bar at the top of the screen here, we get the option of select people. And you wouldn't have seen it because it happened so quick, but this little icon there would have span around while it kind of examined the image that was open to see, right, what people have we got in here? And when it recognizes that there's people, it then recognizes all the different elements that make them up, be it their facial features, their body features, and also their clothing. So let's have a look. So now that we've got that, here's the thumbnail. It recognizes that there's Ian, and I'll click on the little icon, and then look, here we go. All these different things that it's recognized that it can at the moment separate. So let's have a bit of a play with this. So, well, let's change his shoes. Let's go for his shoes. So I'll click on the shoes. Look, there we go. And then I'll click on apply, and then that gives us the selection that you can see down at the bottom. So now what I'll do is I'll come to the contextual taskbar and click on generative fill. Now, the reference image icon is this one just here. And if you don't see that, or rather if it's grayed out, it's because you're using the wrong image model. So this one is only available when you're using the Firefly fill and expand. If you're, for some reason, on Firefly Image 3 or 1, the previous versions, you won't see it. It'll be grayed out like it is just there. So you need to be using Firefly fill and expand. So now that I've got that, I'll click on that icon, and I'll choose a reference image. So I'll click on choose image, and I'll just navigate to where I've downloaded something. Let's say like this trainer here, and you can see I've got one single trainer, and it's on a white background. So I'll bring that one in. I'll click on open. It'll then load it in, and then we get some options at the bottom here. So reference to, it's just the object. I don't want the whole of the image. I don't want it to include the white background as well when it puts it in. And you can see, look here, as it's brought it in, because I've got it selected to object, it's actually cut it out already. So we've got the transparent area going all around it. If I did choose whole image, now look, when I look at it, the white background is included, which I don't want. So I'm going to go to the object, and I'm going to choose where it says intent, swap the selected area. So I'm going to swap these trainers from his shoes. So once I've done that, I'll then close that down. We can tell there is a reference image there now because we've got this little blue tick icon just there. And then I just simply click on generate. And again, we get, because we're using Firefly, we get the 3 generations. If one of them doesn't look quite so good, we can always choose one of the other ones. And then if no good, we can generate again and again and again. But I mean, look at that. From the one trainer, this is what we get. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I mean, you can have so much fun with this, but let's just do a couple more things while we're here. I'll click back on the image of Ian so that the object selection can recognize the person, which it will do just there, and then we'll have a look at something else. So what should we do? Let's go for the lower clothes. So we've got his jeans here. Click on that, and then click apply. We then see the active selection. Now you can see here, look, it's gone a little bit over. It's gone onto his trainer, so we can use some of the old skills that we know before this technology came in, and we'll just remove that there. It's been a bit generous with that. So I'll get the lasso tool, and I'll press down the Option key on Mac or Alt key on Windows just to go to delete from selection, and I'll just kind of very roughly come around here to include that to say, look, we don't want that in, which is perfect. And then I will go to generative fill. I'll click on the reference image icon, choose image, and I've got some trousers here. These ones here, look, these khaki trousers on a white background, which is cool. Click on open. That then puts them in. And again, like before, look, I'm going to choose object and swap the selected area. And you can see there, look, it's actually cut the trousers out so they're on that transparent background. Close that down. We see the icon say, yep, you've got a reference image loaded in, which is cool. And then click on generate. Give it a few seconds. And the result, fingers crossed this one works out, because the result is so impressive. I just think about how we would have had to do this before. It would have been a lot of work to try to map the clothing onto the person. Then you got maybe displacement maps, dodging and burning, and all that kind of stuff to try to make it look like it works. But look at that, look. Within seconds, we're getting the result through. Absolutely brilliant. And the great thing is, because they come with a layer mask, If it doesn't quite work on all the area, you can kind of just use, you know, the traditional skills there, painting with a white brush or a black brush to finesse it. But let's just do, I'm going to have too much fun here. Let's just do a couple more things. I'll click back on the image there of Ian, go back to the object selection, and we'll choose it. And let's change his shirt. So upper clothes, there you go. Look, it's selecting all the clothes on the inside of his jacket there. So upper clothes, click on apply, and then generative fill. I'll click on the reference image, choose image, and I've got a shirt down here, which is perfect. There you go, this kind of check shirt here. Click on open. You know the score now, very, very easy to do. Choose the object, swapping it. We close that down. We can see that we've actually got the reference image, and then click on generate. Give it roughly 10 to 12 seconds or so. It just, I mean, this kind of technology blows me away. And yes, we're having some fun here, but think of the practical uses of this. I mean, look at that. That's insane. I mean, would you really know he wasn't wearing that? Tell you what, let's just go for the full, complete outfit change. Let's just change his jacket. Click on it. We'll go for upper coat. Oh, there you go. So we've got his coat, and click apply, generative fill, reference image, choose image, and I've got a nice sports jacket here. Look at that. There we go. Click on open. That loads it all in. And again, I'm going to use the object in the reference bit here. The intent is to swap it over, close that down, and click on generate. But like I said, I mean, a bit of fun we're having here, but I always find that the best way to learn stuff is by having fun with it, because there are so many practical uses for this. Not just swapping out clothes, but, you know, textures on things, designs on things. It's just endless, absolutely endless. And this is really, really good. And again, I'm happy about this because it's Firefly, less credits being used. I mean, there you go. Look, I mean, yeah, it's missed a little bit of it just there, but you know, we could certainly use the masks to tidy that up. But I mean, really, when you think about it, very, very quickly. We don't have to forget the skills that we've had from before. You know, this is why we've got the masks that we can come in and tidy them all up. But very quickly, look, before and after, before and after. Very, very clever stuff. So that and more is the updates that come in version 27.3.0, released on the 27th of January. For me, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in there. So have a play with it. See how you get on with it. But yeah, the benefits for me, I think a big thing here is me getting back to using Firefly within Photoshop. Nano Banana and Flux, absolutely fantastic. But if this is how Firefly is going to develop, then I think that's good for everybody, because although we don't like the idea of credits being used up, less credits are being used with Adobe's own AI platform. But there you go. That's the new update. I'll leave you to it, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, just to let you know that coming up on February 23rd through 27th is the Foundations Photoshop Virtual Summit. 5 days, 45 classes with 16 Photoshop experts teaching you everything you need to know about Photoshop from the ground up. So whether you're a beginner or you want to go back to basics to really understand Photoshop, you can grab a free pass using this link, which is also in the description.